All right, it's a wonderfully cold morning here in southeastern Georgia, and welcome to Grace's Garage. So, I'm Grace, and this is Zeta. Zeta is a 1996 Suzuki Savage 650, and for some reason we were cruising doing our thing, and we got a little bit of smoke that came out of the underside of the gas tank. So what I'm going to do today is take off the gas tank and see if maybe some wires got shorted out, or if I can kind of figure out what exactly happened and how we can get her up and running again. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is take off the seat. Well, really the first thing that we should do is undo the battery. That's not necessary, but it's just a good practice to always unhook your battery, whether you're working on a car or you're working on a motorcycle or any motored vehicle. So, we've got a bolt here. We've got some bolts right here that we're going to take out as well. And then I believe there's one more. This one right here. And then for the other side is where you're going to find your other terminal. It's a pretty tight fit in here, so I'm having to use like an open end wrench to do it. A ratchet doesn't really get in there, and a screwdriver doesn't really get in there as well. You can use it's got a Phillips head on there, but so those last two bolts on the bottom and then the one up here, you really only have to remove if you want to take the battery out. I'm going to leave the battery in, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to jump to getting the seat off. Alright, so we got the two 10mm bolts. Alright, seat off. Seat off? No, seat not off. Alright, so there are two bolts here for the gas tank that need to be removed. And then we've got to disconnect the petcock from the carburetor and the fuel line, and then we should be able to pull it off. There is a connection port for the electronics for the speedometer that we'll need to disconnect as well, and then we should be able to lift the tank and see what's going on underneath. These are also 10mm bolts. It's never a bad idea. I mean, one of the good practice as well is just to make sure that you check all of your fuses. Hey, that one's busted. That's a good sign, because that means it could possibly be the problem. Whenever I work on a car, or, well, this is the first time I've been working on a bike. This is my first bike. But whenever I work on a car and I find that a fuse is blown, it makes me a little bit happy, because then that usually means that you don't really have anything else to do. But just for safe measure, and for the sake of this video, for learning purposes, we'll continue with the full tank removal. Because I'm pretty sure that there's got to be something going on underneath. It's not normal for it to smoke. So, let me see. Right here, this line right here that goes to the carburetor, you can't see that at all, I'm not doing a good job. This line right here goes through to the other side and connects to the petcock. So that's disconnected. This right here is the petcock, and that line normally connects right here. So here's the other line. I'm going to grab a gas can and a funnel. It shouldn't. A funnel, I got my gas can, and now I'm going to start to see if I can drain the fuel from the tank. If it doesn't come out of the tank, I'm not worried about making it come out of the tank. The tank's probably only a third full, so I'll just pop the tank off, and we'll see if there's anything going on underneath. So there is one last thing that I didn't mention. There's a speedometer cable on the other side, and as I said, this is the first time that I'm taking this off, so we're kind of learning together. But I'll show you. This speedometer cable was super easy to get off. I just grabbed some pliers, and it goes right here. And I just turn this with the pliers, and boom, it's pulled out. Now at this point, what we're going to be able to do is just pull the tank backwards to gain access to the cable for the speedometer, and we'll disconnect it, and then we'll be able to take the tank off. There's still a little bit of gas in there. All right. Ooh. Sorry if you're dizzy. So, I wish there was a way that I could maybe make this easier for you guys to see. I might just have to. You see that white connector right there? That's what we're gonna disconnect, and then this whole thing will be able to take it off. Boom. The unfortunate thing is I really can't see where there's any wires that got hot or why we had the issue in the first place. There's nothing hitting anything. Hopefully the issue was that fuse. So I'll change that fuse out. Well, and I guess we took the gas tank off for nothing, but we learned how to do it. So I'll switch that out, get back to you guys, let you know whether or not we'll be out on our first moto vlogging ride. But that is how you take off the gas tank. As far as working on this bike, the next goal that I have is to take the carburetor off and clean it, because Lord knows when the last time it was done, and it's just not a bad idea. So when we get ready to do that, I'll bring you guys along, and we'll figure that one as we go. All right. Well, now you know how to take off a gas tank for a 1996 Suzuki Savage 650. See you guys.